Hey everybody. Thank you so much again for coming. We have our last speaker here today. It's Bridget Childers. She's a dedicated ethnobotanist, herbalist, and certified wild mushroom forager who studies at the University of Georgia and hands-on experience, a very valued voice in the world of natural healing. Her commitment to understanding the relationships between plants, fungi, and soil has made her a resource and inspiration for those interested in the wonders of the natural world and its healing properties. So here today we're going to join Bridget on a journey into the healing powers of nature, and hopefully leave with a practical knowledge of medicinal and mushrooms and herbs that you can use every day in your daily life. Thank you so much. Everybody give it up for Bridget.
Hello, good evening. How's everybody doing today? Good. Woo! I'm going to start with, I've got some chocolate extract I'm going to pass around. And if you want to take a couple of drops and just try it, we're going to have a whole little experience here.
We'll show and tell. I love it.
Yeah. I'm going to start with the benefits of the chocolate mushroom. They have beta-glucans in them, which is going to help you reduce any kind of inflammatory cholesterol, blood pressure, and stuff like that in your body. They're also good for fighting cancer. They have a chemical in them that slow down the growth of cancer cells. So that's really interesting. They're also rich in a lot of antioxidants, so they're good for your immune system. They have really good properties for your skin. That's part of the anti-inflammatory effects. And they're just, they help regulate your insulin resistance or anything to do with that. So anybody that has diabetes or anything like that, they're good for that. So you guys can just pass it around and let me know. Is everybody familiar with Trinity versicolor, the turkey tail mushroom? It's one of the longest, oldest studied mushrooms. Most used in probably modern medicine. They use it a lot in Chinese medicines and stuff like that too. It's also got a lot of good things in it. It is a prebiotic. It's good for gut health. So if you have any kind of gut issues going on, I would suggest taking turkey tail mushroom. They have polysaccharides. They also have PSP, which is polypeptides, not the other. So they're good for blood, heart health, cleaning out any kind of toxins and stuff that's gonna, settle in your body. They also fight cancer, so anything like that going on or someone. Oyster mushrooms, Chad was talking about, They help lower blood pressure as well. They activate your immune system, which is really cool. So if you, have like a mixture of all these mushrooms, like an extract or a combination, you can have all these benefits and preventions for cancer and heart health and diabetes and, extra protein. So that's pretty cool. It's for mushrooms, and you don't have to, go too far because they kind of grow in a while. I also offer educational hikes, so I take people out to the woods and teach them how to identify these mushrooms and how to harvest them sustainably. I do have a botany background. So one of the things that's really interesting about going out to the woods is pretty much anything that you need is going to be out there. Anything that you need for health, for medicines, you can go out there and find right in the woods. There's going to be, for instance, like red maples. Red maples you can take and harvest the bark or the leaves from those and boil it down and use for a burner. If you have a burner, you would let the water boil and then just stick your, if you have it on your arm or hand, just stick that in there and it will instantly relieve the burning sensation and create like a bandage on your skin. Another thing is dogwood. A dogwood tree is good for headaches, migraines, the same thing. You can make a tea with the leaves or the inner bark, the cambium, and it would instantly relieve, well, not instantly, within like 30 to 45 minutes relieve a migraine or a headache. Hipswea, if you guys have ever went out into the woods and saw the little, looks like wintergreen, it's striped and it grows pretty prolifically in the wintertime. So if you go out and look, there'll be small patches, so I would only suggest to harvest like one to two leaves off each plant here and there. And you can make tea with that. They remove any kind of stones. That's what the Native Americans call stone remover. So they will do kidney stones, bladder stones, gallstones, any of those things. How many people have heard of old man's beard? It's called lung of the forest or Busnia. I have some right here. This grows in the woods, up in the trees, on a limb. Usually only grows like in like a very clean air space, not in the city. So if you would want to go harvest some of this, it's good for antibacterial, antiviral. You can make a tea with it. Another fun fact is that if you were, bleeding or had a cut or something, you could use this as to stop the bleeding. I've got a couple of different herbs up here too. Vitex, those are good for like hormonal health, women's health. They help regulate your hormones. You can make a tea with those. Most every herb, you can either make a tea with it or you can make a tincture. Works out pretty well. Another way I like to really use mine because I can't do alcohol tinctures is either make a glycerin tincture or I put mine in honey and ferment a lot of stuff in honey. So it's kind of not sure of the fun things I think, like Chad was also mentioning, is like the soil is alive. I feel that like wholeheartedly that it is alive, and it holds like our ancestors, like ancient wisdom. So when you use a plant or you use a mushroom, I feel like it just takes and you take it in and it goes into your body, and it speaks to your DNA, and it knows what you need and what to fix and what to heal. So it doesn't work on everybody, each plant or mushroom is gonna affect each person the same. It's gonna take in your DNA and speak to you and fix what you need and heal you. And then kind of like I say, the person next to you is gonna. So that's just a fun fact to also to play with the herbs. So, who all has experienced anything with like medicinal mushrooms or plants on it? Okay. So we know that they have psilocybe, and that's what is the healing factor, the healing chemical that is contained in the active mushrooms, the psilocybe mushrooms. They actually go and when you ingest those, they can go into your body, just like the other mushrooms I was discussing, heal certain things or help certain things. These can go into you and create new dendrites, which could be like little branches, like tree branches, that connect neurogenic pathways in your brain. So it can kind of like help rewire your brain. And also they activate the serotonin receptors. So if anybody's on like antidepressants or stuff like that, like the mushrooms have been studied and proven to activate the same chemical in your brain as say antidepressants do. So they can turn around PTSD patients, a number of different disorders. So that's really interesting, really interesting. Another cool thing I learned just today, earlier, was that the substrate from like mushroom grow blocks, they're using to grow beetles with. There's like a certain Georgia beetles. If you look them up on Instagram, they're going to be using mushroom substrate to feed their beetles with. So the beetles actually ingest it and can possibly grow cordyceps mushrooms out of beetles, which is really interesting too. Who all is interested in growing their own mushrooms at home? Okay. I have here a grain bag, and there's a couple of ways. There's a bunch of ways you can grow mushrooms at home. You can, if you want to grow some outside, you can make a straw bed, or you can grow them in like containers, say a clothes basket, clothes hamper, or anything like that. You would use straw and like some kind of substrate and just cover it up and let it do its thing. What I like to do is grow in these grain bags. It's pretty easy. Just put the grain, create your own. You can put the grain in there with a little bit of water, sterilize it. When you take it out, spray it down with alcohol, do it in front of a flow hood if you have one. If not, just a still air container would work. And you would take this, inject it, and then just set it somewhere in the dark and let it grow for about 2 weeks. And you'll start seeing, the mycelium colonizing on the grain. Once this whole thing would be white, you can open the bag or transfer it to another grain, transfer it to agar. There's, several ways you can do it. So, or just if you want to grow outside if you wanted to keep your culture going, you would take the a piece of the mycelium, you could take it from a fruity body of the mushroom, cut the body in half, and take it from the inside where it is sterile, and place it on the agar plate. And just set it somewhere and let it grow out, and then whenever you see, like he was saying, you see little white like threads growing on there, that's when you know you have it. You can take that and do the same thing, transfer the culture to the grain. So there's a few ways you can play with it. It's really fun. Is there any questions? Anybody have any questions on that? Yeah.
Why is that your favorite way?
It's just easier to keep sterile to me. Lower chance of contamination. I've tried a bunch of different ways, and that's either that or like jars or whatever. Yes.
Have you tried uncle insect?
With the rice? Yeah, I have.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites for a long time.
Yeah, I have it in like 5-gallon buckets and stuff like that. It's good until like the rice gets funky. It's kind of like, I don't know, the sugars in it get crazy sometimes. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, so I think that's about all. Think on it a second, and y'all can see in the session. I'm gonna need like a card up here, and y'all can look at these books. I have field guides. If y'all are interested in like knowing which books that I would suggest to like go out and look for mushrooms and stuff like that. There's a few different ones up here that I highly recommend. You guys can come take pictures and look at and all that. I work for Bella mushrooms in Lincoln, Georgia, and we're a walkout farm out of Dayville, Alabama. So I do educational forays with Fungi Farm, and I do a lot of lab work with Bella and we grow mushrooms for restaurants around Atlanta. So. And like I mentioned earlier, I also do educational forays and classes and workshops. If y'all are ever interested, like I can come out and teach you what's on your property, what's edible, medicinal, things like that. I also do like homeschool groups to that nature. All right. Thank you very much.